Guess what? The robots aren't coming, they're already here. In some industries, guess what? AI has already replaced a whole department. In others, it's rewriting job descriptions faster than HR can keep up. So today, we're asking the big question. If AI ate your job, what next for you? What's next for you? So, welcome to the Game Challenger, where we make sense of emerging technology for real people and real communities in the UK, across Africa, and across the world. I'm the host, and today's episode is AI at my job. Listen to that, AI at my job. The new world of work is now about adapt, upskill, or be automated. Think about that carefully. Adapt, upskill, or be automated. Because let's be honest, everyone, this isn't just about technology, it's about survival, opportunity, and reinvention. Now, what we find, what's happening now is think about the announcements. Amazon reportedly targeted up to 30,000 corporate jobs cuts globally in 2025, and that's related to AI. Sainsbury's announced cutting of 3,000 jobs in the UK through closures of hot food counters, cafes, and management role reductions. The NHS, our beloved NHS, they're talking about 18,000 administrative and managemental jobs as part of the cost-saving drive. If that's not bad enough, what I want us to do is I want us to introduce our guests, and I am joined by a powerful panel. I just want to bring in, for example, Joe Edgar. How are you doing, Joe?
Not too bad, thank you very much.
Okay, so Joe is
Thank you for putting me first.
okay. It's good to. So Joe is our cyber security expert here, and I've also got, as you know, Bosse also is our data expert. So Bosse coming in. Where are you? Can't see you. Yeah, there you are. Good. Bosse.
Good evening, everyone. Happy to be here and excited to be talking about AI ate my job.
Did they eat your job, Bosse?
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, there's a word yet in there. And we've got a special guest, work and life reinvention guide. Her name is Elaine Ward. Hello, Elaine Ward. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. And thank you for inviting me onto this podcast. I feel very honored.
Fantastic. Elaine, did you mind me asking that's your title is so striking and powerful. Do you mind what does a work life reinvention guide do?
Well, I think what it does is it gives people sort of hope that if they're in a role, they've just been made redundant, that I've got sort of strategies in place or that I can suggest things because I've walked that road to sort of reinvent themselves. And
Mhm.
also the reason I've put the life part on my title is that I'm often giving advice to sort of people young in career when I was working in a big company, and also to friends and also to some of my clients. So I give a lot of sort of advice, and
Fantastic.
people seem to listen for some
Fan-
reason.
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm sure we're going to hear more about what you can provide our our community. And that's really what we're all about. What can we do for the community to help them? Thank you very much, Elaine. But what I want to do is I want to start off with a question. What should the average working person be worried about right now? So I think what I'll do is I'll go straight, because Elaine, you were talking. Can I go to you on this one, if you don't mind?
Tony, uh, you put me in the spotlight for sure. Well, the first thing I would say definitely is don't panic, but definitely sort of pay attention.
Okay.
Um, and I also feel that don't be worried, because if worry solved the world problems, we'd all be really happy people. So don't be worried. It's like a really interesting time. There's lots of opportunity out there. There's lots of things going on. You can definitely reinvent yourself with reference to AI, with the different sorts of things you can do. You can create so much content, video and stuff like that. So I would say definitely don't be worried. But I mean, if you're in a role, I would say look into AI, see what it can offer, see how you can use some AI to maybe make your work less boring. Because let's face it, I think AI is there to take away the boring stuff and to keep the interesting stuff. So while that happens in your role, what else could you be doing? How else can you grow? So that's kind of my take on that question.
Well, I like that. It's there to take away the boring role. So you mean our life's going to be exciting from now on? That's what you mean.
So
Yeah.
I think
Great.
so.
Great. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, Bosse, same question. What should people be worried about?
Well, I always like to see the positive side of life, and we need to see the positive side of AI. Yes, it's gonna disrupt things. It's already started because you just mentioned the job losses, but we need to embrace what's coming. It's here now, and I feel that people need to kind of like think of AI as being making us more innovative. So rather than worry about our roles, let's worry about use how we can use the technology. Let's investigate, let's understand, let's start like getting more inquisitive. So I would say don't panic, take a breath, let's be positive, and let's focus about how we can use an AI to be innovative, to be more efficient. Let's, rather than being reactive, let's be proactive. So that's my approach. That's the advice I'd give someone.
Okay, great. And Joe, same question. What
Yeah.
should the average working person be worried about?
What they should be worried about is that AI will disrupt the market, and it has already disrupted the market. You need to get prepared. Just like COVID or the tsunami, we don't know what it's going to do to the job market. It will take job away, and if you don't like change, you'll be left behind. The thing what you should be doing is using AI with every ounce of your time with what you do. Yeah, I deliver training in data and cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. I know the impact that is going to have on the job market, that is already have on the job market, redundancy. But everybody's putting everything on AI, but it's really the economic climate and competition. So in conclusion, you need to be using AI and get on the bandwagon. You don't need to be a computer programmer to be good at artificial intelligence. You don't need to be an IT or have a degree in computer science in order to be using artificial intelligence. You just need to be using it. And you cannot be using it like Google.
Right, Joe. Right, Joe. Let me just come in
Yeah.
there 1 second. Yeah, because what we're talking about, what they should be worried about. I know you're going into some meaty stuff, which we're going to probably be covering very later, and what they need to do. So, I mean, to be honest with you, Joe's mentioned some key things. I think we don't want people to worry, but the question is, what should they be worried about? And I think Joe's hit some of the nails on the head, which is the fact that if you're not willing to change, then that's something you need to worry about your job. Yeah. If you, I would say, worried about what should be, if you have a repetitive task, then it could be automated. So you should be worried about that too. Also, in terms of worried about what's next for you, what's next. So we just need to cover some of these worries and turn these worries into positive things throughout the whole of today's show. Yeah, so that's the key thing. Now, what I would like to say is what just happened to work. Just think about it. What just happened to work. Remember, AI before And I used to talk about AI 3, 4 years ago, and people used to say I was crazy. Now they're saying you said it. You said it. Yeah. I used to talk about how many job losses were going to be, how many jobs were going to be affected. Now, AI before used to be a buzzword. Now it's about restructuring. Yeah, we have it all the way now. We have it in HR, we have it in law, we have it in media, we have it in finance, we have it in customer service, we have it in IT. AI is all over the place now. So, Joe, this question is for you. What changed so fast? What changed so fast?
What changed so fast? In what sense? Can you be a bit more? Well,
Well,
the
before
market
before
changed.
before AI was a buzzword, wasn't it? It was a buzzword. People used to think this thing was just a buzzword. It's not going to come and take over our jobs. It's not going to do much in the workplace. Now it's here. It's in finance. It's in law. It's in IT. It's in accounts. It's in customer service. All these different industries are being affected. So what changed so fast?
I think the technology changed so fast, and the
Mhm.
continuous redevelopment of those tools. But AI has always been around, but we're just given a different name. In banks, automation. In Sainsbury's and Tesco's, automation. It's always been around, but we just given a different name. But now it's gone to another level whereby there's the technology has advanced to such an extent. It has its pros and cons. So that's what has changed. The technology has grown so fast. There's so many tools out there in artificial intelligence that is constantly doing so many things that we do at a lower level. And that is the change, really.
Okay.
The
So I like,
technology.
yeah, I think the tools are developing faster than people could imagine. People are probably, like you said, people are now realizing it could save them money, save them time. And people that thought it would take a long time to integrate into the company have realized it's actually quite a simple process and it's going to make them more efficient. So those are the types of things that we're looking at. But Bosse, I know you're in data, you're a data expert. So,
Yeah.
what are the data trends telling us at the moment?
That's a good question. So, in terms of, I won't be able to talk about, in terms of data trends, I won't be able to tell you the data trends in terms of data itself, but I can tell you from a jobs perspective. But before I just go into that, I want to say that because you just said what just happened to the workforce, I
Mhm.
think that's a really good point. We have just literally seen AI come along and literally consume people's jobs through automation and disrupt the work industry. We heard it was coming, but we're actually seeing the effects now.
Mhm.
And in terms of like the data jobs, I can only talk from my perspective. Data jobs are going to be really important because AI is fueled by data. So I can't really say what's happening in terms of the shifts in terms of like data, but we know we're starting to be reactive to AI within our job roles, especially if you're data. So we're learning how to adapt to using AI within our roles. But we know that obviously our roles are going to be our roles are going to start to look different as the AI continues to advance, and they're looking different right now because AI is the expert. We're no longer the expert. So how do we kind of like use AI to become more efficient? So the trends are like data is going to be like the most powerful thing with AI. So the data job, the data jobs are going to kind of like increase over the next couple of years. We know that, and data being the powerhouse of AI means lots of opportunities should be emerging, and that's
Right.
what's going to be interesting to kind of like watch.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, Elaine, what I want to just I know you are a special guest and you're not used to us, but I just want to just ask you, this disruption, is this disruption necessary or a convenient excuse to cut costs?
I think disruption's always good, um, because it wakes people up. So for me personally, yes, I think it's great that we've got AI. I mean, it's the new digital industrial age, work has been absolutely turned on its head. Things aren't done anymore in years. Things are done in months, weeks, days. So that's the kind of world we're living in. And when we were at school, the sort of roles that were going, and we were told to work for life, that's
Exactly.
out the window. That's out the window now.
Mm.
This new age that we're living in, it's like a couple of years, you move on to something else. So it's like quick, move on to the next thing. And I think with this AI age, we've got an opportunity to not be weighed down with the mundane. I think we can start thinking on a more of a higher level, maybe more sort of strategic, rather than, the all boring administrative stuff. I'm not saying that all administrative stuff is boring, but we can chop that off to AI, and we can get on with certain building things and putting more time into it, thought into it, rather than wasting our time on lower hanging fruit, as they say.
Yeah, thank you. I like the fact that you said that in terms of how fast this is moving through. The other thing I'd like to look at, the speed things are going. Now, if you look now, losing a job for people is one thing. Yeah, we've all lost jobs, in our lives, but it's no big deal because you can get another job, isn't it, usually? But when you lose a job, that's one thing. But when you lose an entire career path, yeah, that's a whole different conversation. There are some people that have lost jobs, but there are a lot of people now where their whole entire career path has now gone. So what I'd like us to do is on the next part, what I'd like to do is let's talk about job loss, job change, and obviously job creation. Yeah. Now some jobs are disappearing, but many are transforming. Tasks are shifting from humans to machines, but not everything is replaceable. So what I want to just ask a question here to Joe. Do you believe AI is replacing workers or freeing them? So just to let me repeat that question again. Just let me repeat that question again so that we can make sure we get pinpoint answers. Yeah. So do you believe AI is replacing workers or freeing them?
Well, I think you give too much credence to AI. What has happened? There's many variables that took place, especially within my industry, the IT industry. What happened is during the pandemic, they employed the IT, the technology demand became extremely high. So they took on a lot of people. Now they've suddenly realized we don't need all of those people because many things can be automated. I also teach in the arena of apprenticeships. Now, some of my students are now getting job because AI is taking their low-level job. Yeah, like testing, simple writing programs. AI can do that faster, quicker. So jobs that can be repetitive, IT support, customer service, sales, all of these areas have been taken by AI because financially it is cheaper for the organization to automate those functions, those business processes. They no longer need entry-level graduates, apprenticeships, or those who are coming in new into the business, into the market. From that point of view, it is changed those low level. One politician once said, AI is going to totally destroy the whole of the working class. So the low level robotics, automation, that will change.
Okay.
So that is that's my knowledge and experience.
Okay, I want to just I mean, that's quite heavy, isn't it? AI is going to totally destroy the working class level. I mean, that's one statement. I mean, I'm scared of that statement because what hope does it have for us all? So I think, Bosset, what do you believe? Do you believe AI is replacing workers or freeing them?
Well, it's doing both. It's doing both. And you mentioned that people that are used to having their career mapped out are now like facing something they've never experienced before. They now know that there's no such thing as a career path anymore because AI has disrupted the workplace. It's disrupted the employee's career path, and just that statement alone, if you think about that, if you're in that position, you're in mourning because you're like, hold on a second, this is what I've been used to for so long. How do I cope with this? How do I deal with this? Now, AI is doing both. It's replacing jobs, but it's also creating jobs. Because what was the question? It was what's the question again?
Is AI replacing workers or freeing them?
Yeah, it's freeing them as well because if AI is now the expert, you don't have to spend time hours. Previously, I would spend hours like on coding or a problem or a solution. AI gives me that solution immediately. All I have to do is apply that solution. So I need to learn how to use AI better. So I'm in a way it's freeing my time. It's making me more efficient, but then it gives me room to learn more, therefore making me efficient. So of course, yes, it's freeing workers, but it's also replacing jobs that are, like you said, repetitive. So it's doing a bit of both, but the balance employers have to have that balance. Yes, let's embrace innovation, but we don't want to replace workers. We want to help them innovate rather than replace. So the employers' mindsets need to change. It's not all about just replacing your employees. We want to have a workforce. So how do we embrace this new technology but make it work within the workplace? So to me, that's more the important question.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's pretty interesting. And I think the freeing up, you kind of like hit that on a nail with the freeing up of time to be able to do more important tasks and doing the less mundane tasks. And I think but I also question employers because you talk about employers as if they know what's coming next. Yeah, some of them haven't even got a clue what's coming next. That's why they're not in the position to make good decisions about replacing or or kind of training their or helping their staff up to the next level. Yeah. So Elaine, I was going to ask you a different question, but I think I'm going to ask you the same question because I think you've hit some of these points already. So I just want to know from you, do you believe AI is replacing workers or freeing them?
Um, I think it's freeing them. I don't believe it's completely replacing workers. I believe that workers will have to be refashioned. I believe that they need to pick up some new skills. I also think that in this new world we live in, there's going to be people needed that can teach, that can guide, that can support, and also people that can translate from humans to tech. So no, I don't think that the jobs are going to be sort of disappearing. I just think that people just need to be creative about this new world. What are these new jobs that are going to be out there that they can do? It's going to be like a whole new skill set. Jobs are going to be changing, but so are the opportunities. So you might not be sort of displaced, but you will need to reposition yourself.
Great. I think the next thing I want to just bring Joe here because Joe's worked with a lot of people, apprenticeships and so on, and also has seen people into different types of careers in IT. So Joe, you've worked with people going through big career changes. I know that you had people from certain jobs training up to be cybersecurity and analysts, data analysts. So, what does it feel like when technology disrupts your identity and income?
Well, when it disrupts, what you need to do is then refactor yourself. That's what Elaine says. Reskills yourself. AI will not take away your job if you integrate the use of AI into your lifestyle, your job. It's not AI will replace your job. Those who know AI, those who know AI and use AI with their job will replace you. It's not that AI will replace you, it's those who use AI with their job, they're the one that will replace you. That is what we need to get into our head. One American entrepreneur said that 99% of white and black or ethnic minority know how to use AI properly or know about AI or the impact.
Did you say 98% know how to what? Sorry.
Don't know about AI.
Don't know. Don't know.
Don't
Okay.
know.
Oh,
99%.
Because I was like, what are we talking about, man? If
Yeah.
98% know what AI is, we
No.
finish. We end the show. We
No,
could.
yeah. 90, don't know. Sorry. Let me revise. So, and that, without that, I've had to restructure my mindset. I've always been with data and cybersecurity, and I came through by teaching data, which is like machine learning and artificial intelligence. So by that effect, I knew what was coming, and me and Tony knew what was coming. So it's affected me in terms of job opportunity, in terms of AI now analyzing my CV. And if it doesn't have the keyword, it throws it in the bin. And it lessens the opportunity that I have. Unless they see a project on your CV, you using AI, you will not be interviewed for a job. So that's how it's affected me, and many others.
Okay. Bossa, do you want to respond to that question, or are you okay?
I was because you're talking about salary, because you said, what does it feel like when technology disrupts your income
And identity.
and identity? I don't think we're experiencing. I'm not sure we've got to that stage yet. I think actually, sorry, with people that have lost their job, yes. If you've lost your job because AI is automating that particular role or function, yeah, it's gonna affect you, and you're gonna have to work out your next steps, because obviously, do you upskill, retrain? What do you retrain in? Because and also, what are you going to be able to get the same income, sort of thing? So that's a really interesting question. It's hard for me to talk from that perspective, because I'm just trying to think about people that I know that might have been affected, so that I could kind of like give an opinion on it. Because it's quite an interesting question. I'm not sure I can answer that one, really.
Okay. And Elaine, do you want to add anything to?
yeah, I can 100% identify with that, because I was actually made redundant last year. So yeah, what I've had to do is reinvent myself, and I've got my little business, and shouldn't call it a little business. I've got my business where I'm helping job seekers and creating sort of content and data, and also using a lot of AI to create a lot of my content. So I guess what I did was I sort of went away to think, because I don't think you know straight away what you want to do. You're in shock, and then I came up with, I like helping people. I like explaining things to people. So I thought to myself, do you know what? Let me just do this ChatGPT course. Let me do this Canva course, and let me see what I can do with it. And all of a sudden, this idea came that I could support job seekers. And I've got pillars that I support them with: mindset, motivation, interview technique, and stuff like that. So yeah, I have completely reinvented myself, and I think you've just got to have a bit of imagination, and I think you've got to have a passion. Do something you love,
Mm.
do something that really interests you. You've still got to do things that drive you emotionally, where you can support people. But yeah, that's what I'm loving doing at the moment. So yeah, I have completely reinvented myself.
Right. So you kind of turned it on top of its head, really. You turned it upside down. You kind of like made a negative thing into a positive thing. And now you are the trend, I believe. When we talk about the trend, we're talking about people that are going to be like entrepreneurs or people that are going to use AI to get themselves to the next level. Yeah, because we talk about, and we said it in the previous show, that 190,000 millionaires, AI, millionaires have been created from AI in the last 6 months. Last 6 months. So yeah, so we look out for Elaine. Yeah. So watch out. Yeah.
I'm a coming.
I'm getting a bit excited there because AI seems to have a positive effect on you. Positive effect. So Joseph, your hand's raised up. I don't know whether that's intentional, but you need to unmute your mic just in case it is intentional. Yep. Okay. So, uh,
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. Yeah, to what you're saying is that AI, we have job creation if you are able to adapt and change. I've had to change, reinvent, just like what Elaine is doing, and go into the entrepreneurial sphere, like freelancing, contracting, and so forth. So therefore, AI has not been a total downfall. What we should be doing is constantly learning. Life is for learning. I used to have a company, an organization called Life is for Learning. It's a continuous learning. Within this technology environment, you have to, on digital environment, you have to keep on learning, keep on adding more to your skills, and have an entrepreneurial. It isn't, the AI isn't something you should be afraid of, whether you're 40 or 50 or 60. It should be something you should get into, and it should challenge you, yeah, in order to improve yourself. You can be a millionaire. AI has leveled the level playing field in terms of marketing, finance, legal, all of those areas. AI can help you. Not only ChatGPT. People are still using ChatGPT like using Google. Google is dead.
right.
Google AI is with us. So that's what I had to change my mindset into
Great.
entrepreneurial.
Great. So really, when we look at everything, I mean, I'll just put a bit of comment in there myself. How does it feel when the technology disrupts my identity and my income? I think for me, there's been a few questions that you have to ask yourself because when AI comes in, you're like, am I going to use it? Am I not going to use it? And sometimes you're kind of like saying, no, I like doing it the old way, and you have to fight the old side of you to use to become new. And I think it allows me to transform. Yeah, but I also have to lean on the other side where some people are not that way inclined. So how it's affecting them is very badly. Yeah, because they've had careers, they've had jobs that they thought were for life. They've had careers that they thought they will be doing for the next 20 years, and now suddenly it's been wiped away. So that can't be a good thing. Yeah. They've been used to a certain income, and now they don't have that money, and they can't even go and look for another job because that job does not exist. So what I think from in reflection of all those things and what you've all said is uh, some people didn't lose their job. What happened is they lost their certainty. So I just want you to think about it. They've lost their certainty. Before, we could actually lose a job and say, right, I'm applying for the next job. What's your next job? You know, do you have the skills for it? I think just to let's flip this now and say what jobs are coming. What jobs are coming? Yeah. Not going, because we've talked about things that are going. What jobs are coming? That's what we said.
All right, let's stop there. What jobs are coming? Think about it. What jobs are coming? I'd like to say thank you, Bosse, Joe, and Elaine, for an exciting, interesting, lots of information, debate or podcast on AI at my job. Has AI eaten your job? I hope it hasn't. Are you feeling more relaxed? But guess what? In the next part of this, you're going to find out more information about what jobs are coming. That means you will be in pole position to take advantage in 2026. So you've got to watch next part. But I also want you to do is like, subscribe, click on the subscribe button, click on the like button, always share it and comment. So thank you very much. That's me, Tony, from the Game Challenger. The next part is going to kick off with what jobs are coming. Me, Tony, over and out.